Okay, so hopefully everything worked okay. I'm just setting everything up. Well, of course, good morning, everyone. How about some clapping for the start of the stream? Yeah. So, I'm just recovering from rebuilding this computer. I haven't actually live streamed from OBS for ages. All the live streams we've done are through StreamYard. So all of my profiles and all that good stuff have been wiped out. Also, I'm extremely late to start the stream because, you know, life of an IT person. So we're still having breakfast and coffee, even though it's 10 o'clock and I should have been up for hours. But we'll get to it. There's all kinds of banana and bubblegum boys. What? Anyway, there's all kinds of people in the chat. Good morning, everyone. I see Ryan and Bo, Scalda, Robbie Mack. John Strand is here. Another Chris. Not the normal Chris Riley music. Where's, yeah. So I hope you like that, Pantera. Yeah, that's more of Jim's thing. I hope you like the new music. Everybody was really irritated. Well, and not everyone. Some people were irritated by the last elevator music. And when I rebuilt all the streams, all the scenes in OBS, I thought, well, I'll just go with the same one. But I thought, no, we should go with another elevator music just to, you know, mix it up a little bit. Costner is here. 3D Jimmy, good morning. Hopefully everything's working okay. The sound's working okay. It's raining like crazy here, and it has been for like the last 36 hours. So there is a bit of moisture in the basement over there. The sump pump is kicking off like crazy. Excuses, excuses, exactly. I'm all excuses. Nothing actually, you know, worthwhile. Had your computer trouble last year. Mike never let the machines win. He had a stream, this microphone's bothering me. He had a stream last night where he was building the rep box. That was good times. If you don't subscribe to Mike, you should, because he has some hangouts that are fun and worthwhile. Another Chris, yes, that is you. Because Jake Matt always wants to be acknowledged, that this is the last time that I'm going to acknowledge Jake Matt. Jake from State Farm has been acknowledged, and that's it. Doctor's waiting room, exactly. Michael Fox is here. Okay, so this printer, as with almost every printer we do, it seems like, this one is almost as high as the ceiling. You got about 14 more inches. So, M3D, they're an interesting company. I believe they are the ones that did the really small injected molded printer a while back. This was a Kickstarter. An awesome community member by the name of Scott contacted me and said, hey, look, I'm more into deltas. I backed this thing on Kickstarter. I have no idea what it is. I don't really want to mess with it. I'd like you to, you know, to take it and see what you could do. Well, that's how I ended up with this box. I received this box sometime in May, I believe. So it's been a little while. But I don't even remember what it's called. I would have to go, like Promega or something like that. It originally sold for like $3,500. I'm not sure exactly what's in this box. I don't know if it's a printer. I don't know if it is just a frame that you can customize to make a printer. I'm really not sure what capacity this is because Scott backed it as a Kickstarter. So I don't know if there were different levels. I have no idea what's going on here, but I thought it would be fun to find out together what might be in this box and what capacity it is. If it's the default configuration, some of it looks pretty promising. It was kind of pricey. I think they're phasing it out at this point because I saw it was 3,500 MSRP, and then they're like selling them for 1,000 now or something like that. So maybe things didn't go so well, but we're gonna find out. Patrick Nugenthoff is here, and John is here. Hello, John. Yeah. 5-volt M3D. So, oh, Red Light Mike is here. Hello. Mapro6 is here. Hello. Yeah, May. I mean, come on. Yeah, it was really expensive. I'm probably killing you with this microphone, but it's bothering me. Hello, David from London. Yeah, I mean, you know, me holding on to a printer for, 4 or 5 months is nothing. I don't even know how long we had the Pulse, or, I mean, so there's printers over there I've had for ages, but I thought this would be good. This would be a good one for today. All right. So let's see what we got in here. I know that I'm not going to be able to open it straight up and pull it out of the box. We're definitely going to have to slide it out the side. That's another thing too. I was talking about rebuilding OBS. So we might have to build some things on the fly as far as scenes and camera angles and things like that, because I don't even really know what I have. The overhead shot's not going to do you any good here, I can tell you that for sure. Maybe don't open it. I'll just stand here and talk about opening it. AS, Tronxy is dead to me. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I've had a couple of bad runs with Tronxy, and I'm sure they're doing better in their new, I've seen their new printer, and it looks decent, but not real anxious to get into that market. So if you could see this, this is somewhat interesting. This is almost shipped like a crate, which I kind of like. Let's see. See if you can see this. They've actually got 1x2s in here. Pretty cool, huh? So there's cable chain with wires in it, so at least we know there's something electronic included. There might be a lot of cool parts in here, that's for sure. So let me see if I can slide this out here without breaking it. But, man, it is really heavy too. I don't know what the shipping weight on this was, but it doesn't say. But we'll see. George Matters open. Open! I got to meet George at the Kansas City Maker Faire. He's a good guy. Does a lot of cool stuff. Wow. This is pretty interesting. I use interesting lightly if you haven't noticed. Interesting is kind of the catch-all word for a lot of things. It's a nice box. It has a very small power, well, I'm going to say it's super small, but power supply is kind of interesting looking. So let's get it on its feet. Somebody put a lot of work into this case, I can tell you that for sure. There is a screw floating around. That's always a good sign. There's a screw just kind of miscellaneous thrown in there. There are switches floating around as well. Not sure what you're supposed to do with that. So this is right side up. Check it out. You could bake your pizza in there. Looks kind of interesting. I did set that up. Nice. Nightbot. Promega. $3,500 mystery box. I'm not sure what they got into this for the pre-sale. I don't, you know, when you did the Kickstarter, not sure what it cost, but yeah, after the fact, kind of pricey. Scott is a good dude. Congratulations on your Promega. Your Promega is here. Warranty, modifications, power. It is open source. There's a user manual on a USB flash drive inside. Thank you for supporting M3D. Happy printing. Once again, a bigger table. Absolutely. I wouldn't disagree with you in the slightest. That looks like maybe a... I like to open these a little slow and kind of, you know, try to determine what's going on here. That looks like an MKS 1.4 board back there, maybe. Let's get some of this plastic off. Who does not have a screw loose? No. You're a hero. I don't know about hero, but thank you. I'm just another guy on the internets. All right, so we have some acrylic panels. I'm guessing that's so we can enclose the whole thing. You know how much I like to do this. Pilot says, wait, somebody's complaining about volume. Again, let me know. The meter says I'm pretty pegged out, but like I said, I did have to rebuild this whole thing. So the wood pieces here, so it looks to be that they have brought the bed all the way up, put those wood slats in between the bed and the frame, and then wrapped it in plastic. So I'm going to do that last, I believe. There are some 3D printed parts in here. I don't know, this is a really... it's kind of an odd printer. Well, I mean, I guess it's not odd yet, but not what I'm used to, I can tell you that. Here's some more panels. Resembles an Ultimaker, yeah, I could see that. It's definitely the bed down. Is it Core XY? I can't tell yet. We'll have to take some more plastic off. I don't believe it is, though. Sounds better now. Okay. So the machine that you're referring to is my air conditioner. So that will be annoying, miscellaneous through the day. Try to get this screw that's floating around out here. We do have our sounds back now. So, and that was the subscriber sound. Lewis just subscribed. Thank you. Ooh, it has blue power switches. You want to sucker me into something? Put cool switches on it. Binder clips are just kind of taped in here. It is Core XY. The motors are at the back. It has a very small belt on it. Sound is okay. Thank you. A fully printed printer? You mean, it depends how fully printed do you mean? Warranty, what's one of those? Let's see if it says it. I don't know if the text to chat works on Super Chats yet. Alright, let's cut this top part off and see if the bed falls.
Warranty, what's one of those winking face?
I really like it that it describes the emojis. Thank you very much for the 5, John. That is much appreciated. Like an XYZ? No, not an XYZ. No sound change. Are we fighting about sound? Is that what we're doing? I'm sure it will work out and everybody will be happy at the end of the day. Binder clips are for the acrylic panels? Absolutely. You mean I don't have to hot glue them? Okay. I'm going to use these 1x2s for something. I swear it. That's good stuff right there. I like these. See if I'll bring them to Earth. I can correct Walter and Glenn. Wang. So you have a $3,500 printer, but you have a sheet, a giant sheet of blue tape. Check this out. Wow, the bed is huge. I've never seen one quite like that. Check out the blue tape. Woohoo, isn't that nice? I'll never get that on without a bubble. Somebody come over and weed that for me. All right, so what do we got here? We got plastic hanging out. There being children about sound. Well, that doesn't surprise me. You're listening, watching a guy in a basement in the Midwest. You're not going to get a whole lot for quality. I mean, let's face it. Okay. After you get some of the wrapping off of it, it's starting to look pretty nice. It's definitely just raw aluminum now. Check that bed out. It's original, I have to say that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on here I've never really seen. They do have crossing belts, which is, I mean, I guess in some configurations that's actually pretty common, but I don't know how I feel about it. See what we got in here. Is this filament that they've given me or parts that I have to install? Yeah, you tell me as far as printer specs go, because I left the links in there. I browse the sheet online just to see, but you know how we do things. I'd like to come in cold to a lot of these builds, so I didn't really do a lot of investigation. So you all can take a look at that link and tell me what's going on here. Scott is here, so Scott D there is the guy that sent me this machine. Thank you, Scott. You're awesome. Back in the old days, we used blue tape for paint. What? Painting? I hate painting. I know I've missed a ton of stuff in chat. From the land of giants. Got some printed parts, USB cable. Don't cross the belts, destroy the universe. That's right. Don't cross the belts, Ray. I'm guessing these are spool holders. Oh, we got some feet. Screws for those feet, maybe. Now, this is interesting. Wow. I don't even want to speculate how that works. So let's take a look together here. Don't even want to speculate on this one. So they included a spare nozzle and throat, but this is what it looks like. So this is the cartridge. Yeah, this is going to be extremely out of focus, and I apologize for that. But this is the cartridge. It is all one piece. So the end doesn't, unscrew or anything. This is the insert for that cartridge. You can kind of see it. It has two holes in it. That's how it does dual color. That's pretty interesting. If that works, I will be amazed. We'll see. All right, so this is filament, and this is filament. We got some like aqua color. And these are half spools, maybe even half, 500s. We got some transparent blue and some black. Tough 3D ink. Interesting, this is measured in feet. 500 feet. 500 feet. I don't think I've ever seen one measured in feet. Alrighty. So we do have some filament. Yeah, I don't know how that nozzle works. We'll find out, I guess. I don't even know where I'm out of room to put stuff. What is this? Yes, we're making dog kennels. That's exactly what we're doing. The aluminum on this is actually pretty nice. It is a touch sharp. A little bit sharp. Yep, they did give you somewhat of a sizable amount of filament for, a 3D printer. I'm not sure what Scott ended up paying for this. Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to find a replacement. They give you one spare, so use that accordingly. But if Scott is still here, he can kind of give us the rundown on how this was. I believe he said he backed this as a Kickstarter, so I'm not sure how the backing went, or any of that good stuff, or what it costs. From the micro, maybe. This is the glass sheet. Yes, this is the glass sheet, and that is a really thin glass sheet. I don't. Now that I have this out of the box, I kind of get this feeling that I don't trust myself around this glass sheet. I know me. And that could be a bad idea. So let's put it over here with our monster tape and hope for the best. Okay, now what do we do? Let's see what this board looks like back here. Oh no, what is this? What chip is that? I think that's an STM32. It's an ATSAM 4S8C. It's an ARM chip. I've never... Oh, okay. So, this is a duet board configuration. I don't think it's an actual duet board. Huh. This is a Maestro configuration. I'm not sure that that's genuine, though. Maybe it is. It is 24 volt, 16 amp output. It does look like it has an AC bed. Picture of the board, please. You got it, buddy. You can probably tell me, Mike, better than I can. What do you think about that? Let's see if I can find... Controlling these cameras in this configuration isn't the easiest thing to do. I really got to find a better way to do this. We don't want autofocus. Autofocus makes me seasick. There you go. There's a little better. You think that's genuine? That's their options now. If the firmware is available, yes. That's another good point. What is the print bed size? I'm not sure. They worked in collaboration with Duet for a custom board. Okay, I believe that. I believe that. That's cool. What do you mean wire management failed? This is a Chris Riley special right here. This is how things are done, right? That's how you do it? Absolutely nothing wrong with that wire management. Okay. We'll go back to this. It's going to be one of those days, everyone. It's going to be one of those days. It's going to be a long one. I can tell already. It's going to be a long one. Oh, this one's got a twist tie on it. The switches do somewhat concern me. That was supposed to be on the case like that. But it has... I am supposed to attach that. This one... Okay, here's where the stray screw went. It was on this switch. So the switches are set to the sides. So you got the front of the printer here, you got the switch on the left and the right, I'm guessing one of them is bed and one of them is power, right? Or maybe you got to hold them both, you know, at the same time while it's printing, so you don't hurt yourself. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. They are, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They're blue. You want to sell me on something, put a blue switch on it. Dual Z. It's got square rail. Like, I don't even know what size that is. It's small. The Z appears to be belt driven. Yes, the Z is belt driven. Not sure why it blocked that, but okay. I found the stray screw. I don't see the stray nut that goes with it. A fleet, yeah, absolutely. This is a benchy making machine, I can already tell. This is how you do things right here. There are no flat nuts included. Flat nuts? That's not an actual term. Don't use that around your friends. They are star bits, torque bits. I don't think I have any. Oh, wait. I might. Sergio sent me a bunch of stuff that might have a torque bit in it. Aha! I am the stray nut. I'm not going to refute that. I think that's pretty accurate. Looks bent on camera. That's kind of common, that things look a touch bendy. Let's, we will take a look though. We will take a look. We will investigate. We got all day, kids. All day. I've had a cereal bar to eat so far. We'll have 500 cups of coffee, and this day will be successful. Promise. Today we are doing Fun in the Country Basements. That's always fun on Sundays. It will be on Walter's channel, Country 3D. You can always look that up at funcountrybasement.com. Remember, country is with a K. I washed my cup. For those of you that are very concerned about the current quality of my drinking cup, I washed it. Top right. There's still like some foam pieces and stuff in here. That is true. I mean, the angle we have now is actually a little bit different than it used to be. This one is wider. You're actually looking at, so before I had 920s. This one is a 4K. I'm not running a 4K, but it is actually quite a bit wider, and I have to zoom in just a little bit so that you don't get this huge, you don't see all of the mystery on the sides. So that might be causing a bit of it. So it said there was a manual. I need to do that other switch. That's where I was going with this. Yes, Robbie Mack, you are correct. This is just extremely thin aluminum setting on top that connects these two sides. So if that's what you're talking about that's bent, yes. But it also holds an end stop. This is really thin. So if that is expected to be anything structural, we have lost this game. So that's not good. I definitely wouldn't be pleased if I paid $3,500 for it. Clean coffee got less flavor. Exactly. Now my coffee tastes funny. I got to drink more. Might have, that's absolutely right. It could have affected it. The grand illusion. Now we, who was that, Styx? Never to be washed. I always think of it like a cast iron skillet. You got to season that thing. It's just not going to be right. It's springy. Tell us what it tastes like. No. Hello, Mike the Greek. Never let the machines win. Absolutely not. Words to live by right there. Blue switches. Yes. This is like, this switch over here is like, oh no, something really bad went wrong. I need to turn it off. So, it just kind of has two, well, I'll show you what's going on here. Slide out of the way, Gary. What is the easiest way to get this done? Is this carriage tied down to anything? No. Okay. So that makes it easier. Because we got some foam floating around in here. Yeah, so the whole frame outside, so up to the front is one sheet. So the back corners are just bent. So the three sides here are one sheet that's been folded. So I mean this isn't really, I mean, this isn't providing any structure to speak of. Everything except this end stop. This end stop worries me a bit, but everything other than that is tied down to that one sheet frame. And then it has linear rails and then upright extrusions, which I'm not sure how big those are. I want to say they're 15s. So they don't look like 10s, and I know they're not 20s. I don't know where my ruler went, but they're an odd size. Your CR10 needs a, oh no, something's gone wrong, switch. So, this has dual direct drive extruders. Those are not NEMA 17 motors. I'm not sure what size they are. I'll give you a look at that. In fact, let me take a look at it. So it has, I want to say those are like 20 millimeter blower fans, one on each side, and then there's a 3D printed shroud. M3D mini steppers. But there's a look at what that print head looks like. You can see there's side-by-side steppers there, very tiny. And they just have these tubes that are going out the back. I don't even know that that's PTFE. It's really rigid. But to feed the filament in. And they just kind of hang out on the back over here. So probably not the best idea ever. But, you know, whatevs. The bed does guide down really smoothly. It's very rigid. There's no slop in there. That's good. I have to say the carriage is nice. It's got an LED on it or a light or something, because as you move it, you can see it flicker a bit. So that's cool. How do you load filament in it? Uh-huh. Wow. That's different. Now I'm a bit frightened. I have to say, I'm a bit frightened. Maybe we're going to have to take a look at what they gave us on the USB stick. The cable chain is supported by like the spring mechanism. So the head will fit under it? Well, it would have cleared before the bend. So I'm going to say that's accidental. Like I said, it's so thin, you could cut it off. It really wouldn't matter much. All right, what do we get with this thing anyway? This is from another printer, right? No? No, it's not. Blonde moment. Let's see what's on this stick. Where is, well, I don't. Okay. Cura profiles. Stunned, amazed. Watch this first. Guess I should have done that. You want to watch it?
Hey, if you haven't been thanked already, I wanted to personally thank you for supporting the Promega and our crowdfunding campaign. I made
They're
this video
thanking
so
us.
that I
That's
could
cool.
urge you guys to follow our quick start guide, what we call the launch pad or the crash course. Please take our advice and get the first successful print before you put time investment. That'll show that your printer's working, and once you get your first print, then we have the resources for you to learn how to do increasingly complicated.
Okay. Well, thank you for the video. I appreciate that. But now I'm going to commence to messing all this up. Updated. Aha. Nope. They have loaded all of this in a website structure. Oh no, that is, but this is a Maestro. It doesn't have a web interface, does it? Oh, it's got an Ethernet port. That's right. So that's their, that's the web server. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing here, but interesting. Well, I definitely don't have an Ethernet cable to hook that up to. Not sure what these are. Spool holder, feet. Let's put the feet on. Carrying handle. I don't think you'd carry it very far before you got extremely injured. The more you look at this thing, I swear, the belts, the belts are tied off at the bottom. Where am I hooked up? Belts are tied off. I'm scratching the crap out of the table. The belts are tied off at the bottom with these screws. That's kind of interesting. Yes, exactly. Read the instruction. Nope. Please, please. No, no, nope. Not going to do it. And if you think that the reason why I'm not reading the instructions is because I got this for free, because somebody sent this to me, that is absolutely not the case if you've ever seen a live stream that I've done before. Dual heat zones, excellent. This is what I'm looking for. Without any of that, well, I probably got the cable. I don't know if I could find an open port token ring. That's more my speed. Bus and tag, there you go. Now we're talking. I've had much experience with bus and tag. Not in a good way. Don't I don't like being told what to do by some manual. Yeah, token ring, man. Some of the beginning of my career, we barely had network. Like, you know, Windows for Workgroups network. I mean, we were just kind of coming into it. There was a lot of equipment that was not talking to each other, unless it was bus and tag. So they only give me 4 feet. There's five holes. It would have been nice to have one in the center, I think. Sneaker net, absolutely. There are still a few things on the old mainframes. They're not old mainframes, they're new mainframes. But there are still a few things that we have to sneaker. Like when we're setting new ones up, you still have to go get the thumb drive out and walk it over there. They gave me 3 longer screws because those, oh, wait. Don't break. LAN parties. What a nerd. Who'd ever do that? Not me. What was the first LAN game that we played? What were we? I remember that, but I don't remember what we played. Do you remember Rise of the Triad? It was like a Doom ripoff type of thing. I think we played that on the LAN, maybe. That was a while ago. What's up, Sergio? Yep, Doom was a LAN thing. Chris Lane is here. Wolfenstein. I used to play Wolfenstein all the time. I don't remember playing it on the LAN, though. Mech Warrior, absolutely. I totally remember that one. Half-Life. I never played Half-Life. I remember when that was a cool thing, man. I was probably in 6th grade. Probably a little later than that. Maybe 8th grade. There we go. That's a little nicer with the feet on it. They include macros. They have a Discord. They do have a support website. They have a launch pad for Promega. Yeah, I don't know about this whole dual color thing. Read this first. Critical warnings. Warning. They even instruct you how to cut through the tape. I've been doing this all wrong all day. Mounting the spool holders, mounting the feet. We did that correctly. Attaching the glass bed. M5 nuts were shipped, but you need M4 nuts by mistake. Oh, they want me to install the windows. I don't want the windows yet. Installing windows will never have the same meaning as of, sometime in the 80s. Okay, let's throw this glass sheet on here. Yes, it is the 2-in-1, Stephen. I showed the spare nozzle. It looks pretty much like magic to me. Where are them clippy things that we had? I guess we can... I am going to absolutely ruin this sheet the second we start printing on it. I know that's going to happen. I'm almost tempted to glue stick this for its trial run. The community prints. Do they look good? Hello, Clint. Get a Wham Bam plate. How big is this thing? I know I'm stalling here. I'm just messing around, but I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying this printer. The glass sheet is like 420. 420. 420, a little bit bigger than that even. 15 square. Well, that's kind of why I thought it was an interesting idea to get one. I don't know anybody that's got one of these. So we'll find out together. These clips are not going to make it, though. I can see bad things getting ready to happen with these clips. Honestly. Bad things. We still don't know what it tastes like. Tastes like victory. Or sadness. Cute. I know what he meant. Two-inch square. Well, that's usually what happens. Yeah, Chris, I was kind of concerned about that price jump as well. Things didn't sell as great as they thought, maybe? Talk about a market. Well, you gotta go in high and work them down. Marijuana printer. I think the bed clips are the hardest part about this whole thing. It's like buying a car. $500. Well, some companies operate a little different. Tears of my enemy. These clips are ridiculous. And you can put them on the back, but it might take me a half hour to get them on there. Yeah, so there are rails left and right for Y, but they are on chrome rods for the print head. Oh, that's not going to work. There are a lot of printed parts. Nothing really crucial though. I mean, like, you know, all the pillow blocks and except for the bearings are all aluminum and everything, but there are quite a few keepers and such. You know, of course, the fan shroud and all that good stuff. A lot of the corners and things. I don't know, it's really kind of resembles Hypercube, honestly. You know, the printer I never built that I swear that I'm going to someday. Okay. What do you say? What do you think? Turn it on and go for it, see what happens? Yes, absolutely. First update, definitely going to require some sort of clip solution. Because I won't do that again. Smoke test, I think we should just turn it on. You know, the first, and I know you don't need one. I get it. But the first thing I always look at when I open a printer like this is where is the screen? Why? Those screens must cost $3. Why can't I have a screen? So if anybody cares, which they don't, that's building a 3D printer, cares how I feel about it, again, they don't. But please just put a screen on it. It makes me feel better inside. I mean, come on. Okay. So it's on. I can hear power supplying. Let's hit this switch. Ooh, the board came on. And the other one was in the on position. I can hear fans spinning. It is a duet, yes. And you're right, duet is a little trickier for the screen and all, but still, they put a $3,500 price tag on this. My biggest so I am going to wing this, as I do a lot of things, as you all know. They did give me a cable. Add screen, exactly. Thank you. We need, I should make a video about that. Printer rules, and then everybody will comment on it poorly, but the SD card that they give you is your OS card. So they don't give you two SD cards. So that's good to know. This is going to have to go in there if you want your web interface. So let's reboot for that. Usually they'll give you like a 128 meg or whatever that really tiny card is for your OS card. They did not do that in this case. No screen, I'm telling you. Yeah, this part, right? My biggest concern about the whole thing, I think I already said this, but is filament. Seriously. Well, let's see if we can actually communicate with it first. See if we can dial it in. We can communicate. That's good. All right. Ooh, it is super quiet. Very nice. Ooh, I like that. So it homed Y. Now it's heading towards X. And it homed. Bent or not, it homed. So let's let it do the whole thing here. It is Core XY. So when you hit home, it's headed towards the bottom. And it does home at the bottom. It hit the switch and bounced about 10, and now it's homing slow. So that's cool. So it's actually, on a lot of these where you would print down, it would home, usually they home like over here, all the way to the top. This is homing at the bottom. So that's kind of neat. It moves really nicely, I have to say. Judging whether it would be level or not, it's going to be quite tricky. It has had filament through it before. Yeah. How are you supposed to print something? So with Duet, you're going to be able to get into the network and send it a file, and then it will take care of the rest. You can on Duet, man, it's been so long since I've done Duet stuff. On Duet, it's the onboard card supports the file system, the web server, and it will store all your G-code. So as soon as you get the G-code uploaded, then you're set standalone. You don't have to mess with anything. Even if the network goes out, you're fine. So with Duet, it's much easier. Benchy time. Washing machine aluminum frame. Okay. Let's see if it will heat up. Let's do that. All the lights are blinking and on and doing their thing. That is a question, Marcin, that I don't know. I am not sure if it has any sort of ABL. Let's take a look inside there. Well, I can't do that now. Let's see what's... I was going to just look at one of their G codes. Unboxing, set up your network. G-code wiki. It says it has baby stepping. Their manual is their online manual, very thorough. They even go through like common terminology. Z probe offset. But I don't understand where it probes. Am I missing something? Well, of course I'm missing something, but little from column A, little from column B. We're definitely warm, so that's good. So we have an in-stop switch on the carriage. That's how it's going to do the auto leveling. So let's see it do that. Let's try that. Block on auxiliary power. Ooh, did you see that? The probulator. That was some fast move. That absolutely was some fast move. Maybe I should have read the manual on this one. Does that? Let's take a look at this. It's more fun just to try this stuff, really, honestly. Okay. That isn't going to last very long, I can tell you that. So it has a magnetic trap. So on the carriage, it's got that in-stop switch, but it has a magnetic trap so that you can pop it down and pop it back up. And if you're not really careful, it will just toss it back up and not probe. So that's what that fast movement was about. Don't break, don't break. Time to put the tape on. I haven't finished breaking it yet. Then we'll put the tape on. So only option I know of for duet still are the panel do, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I think that's still the only one that's compatible with these boards. So Walter, tell me, on duet, you don't G29, you G32? Sub 30 minute, I'm going for 12 minutes. You put a tablet with a Wi-Fi browser, that's how you do it right there. They can use 864s? Okay. I did not know that. Now it's saying that Z probe is already triggered. Only Maestro can, okay. Well, it has a micro switch that it's supposed to touch. I have to say the homing at the bottom is, I thought it was cool at the beginning. Now I don't think it's so cool. G32 is for the short one. Okay. Well, let's just see what G32 does. Yeah, it just keeps saying Z probe is already triggered before it started. The deployable limit switch and the IR probe, which can be enabled. I don't even know where it would be. Well, here, let's do this. I like it when you all read the manual for me. I'm going to take a look at its G code real quick. That will tell us a lot. In the G code folder for your test G code, it just has an empty text file that says, put your G code files here. I love it. And they have a Cura profile, and it has ABS in it. I don't think you can just read these, though. Yeah, I mean, if it's trying to address an IR sensor, that could be a problem. But if it is buried down in there. Oh, check that out. You turn the power off, the bed definitely starts falling. So, Remember that, kids. I don't know, let's just test it then. I really don't see anything that can be IR. But I've been wrong a lot in the past. Now what? If it works. Yes. And that's exactly what we hit, Walter. Power recovery. Are you kidding me? I didn't think Duet could be powered by USB. I guess it can. I need some more coffee already. Michael Cassell is here. Hello. Nothing. Now I'm not getting anything from it. Hopefully this doesn't mean my computer's getting ready to crash. Absolutely. It's time for coffee. This completely killed Fronterface. Oh, now it's doing something. That was totally on its own, by the way. Fronterface had crashed. Every 20 minutes, that would be awesome. Well, now there are little lights and things back there. This thing's doing some really weird stuff. Okay. So it keeps telling me that it's already triggered. Let's see what we got under here. So, I mean, I guess that could be. Let's see what it says it's triggered right now. Later, Walter. In stops, not stopped, not stopped. Z is at max, probe is not stopped. So it is definitely reading the micro switch and not any sort of alternate sensor. So it is acting as the probe. It says Z probe at minimum. So we're definitely keying off, no matter what, if there is an IR sensor or not, we're definitely keying off of that switch. Yeah, the probe port on the Maestro, I mean, I guess we could just take a look at that. What do we have back here? Well, let's take a look at the board real quick. I know this is probably thrilling for all of you watching on YouTube. So yes, that is the Z probe header. It is plugged into it. It's being powered so we have brown, black, and white. There's a lot of wires on this. I hate to have to read the manual. That doesn't seem like any fun at all, reading. Brown, okay, so there's that. That is split into, oh my god. So yeah, there is definitely an IR sensor there that is plugged into that probe, but it does not get triggered. So we found that part out. I'm not even sure how I would get a cable over here to talk to it. Maybe that's what we should do. We should just ask the Duet to do everything for us. So they do have a bunch of macros and everything. Setting up the network. Gotcha. Blinking lights. Card structure. Gotcha. Your extruder. Sounds technical. Not the red one. Thrilling. Absolutely thrilling. That is not my extruder, though. That's not the one I have. That is the weirdest thing. Emery just subscribed? Thank you. I don't know why you'd subscribe at this point, but I appreciate it anyway. Today, not the best day. Don't you tell me I'm triggered. Ben, thank you. That is crazy how you feed filament in there. It's like just two. Jeez. Tani, thank you. Huh. All right. Chris Gulata is here. One of my favorite moderators. Arnold, thank you. We're hitting the subscribers all at once here. It's got like a dual feed print head, one on each side. I'm glad you find the videos helpful. Okay, so here's the plan. It'll be okay after the benchy, promise. Here's the plan. I'm gonna go get some coffee. Then we are going to plug this into the network and take a look at the web interface, because there's macros in there, and then inside those macros we'll be able to tell what commands they're using to make this thing work. So I think that's the plan. And I now know how to load filament in it, so that's also good. So let's do that. Everybody, grab coffee. Meet back here in less than 5. Think so? Who is that? 3D RCNC? Thank you. Thank you. Do you guys want to go back to elevator music? I know you do. I know you do. Let's do that. Here you go. I'll be right back. Sorry, I was muted. So what I was telling you was what. So if you didn't know the miming, you know, from all my hand gestures, I have a hub over here that's on my servers. That, like, on top of the servers, there's a hub. So I just plugged this in with a rogue cable, and now we're going to figure out what IP we're on. So you didn't miss much. All right, so that works. The duet such and such works. I don't know if you want to. Do you want to actually see this? Do you want to see what I'm doing? You can if you want. There you go. So all that works just fine. So home all, right? Man, can I just subscribe? Thank you very much. We each get a printer? Absolutely. You get a printer, and you get a printer. Extruder drive, G-code console, print status, tool fan. Okay, so here's our macros. This is what I was looking for. So calibrate Z probe. Do you want to calibrate Z probe? I absolutely do. So it's heating first. I think, though, you are right about the tape. I think it's going to complain until we put that tape on there. That is kind of a busy interface. You don't want to see that while we probe, do you? You want to watch me drink coffee. The starting soon scene starts to buffer? Really? I have deployed the probe. That's kind of a personal question. Yeah, that's just duet. That's what duet looks like. Ooh, beeping. Touch the nozzle to the bed. Now this is here, I'll just give you a look here. Now this is fancy. So this is what we're doing here. So that is definitely going to bottom out our Z probe switch. Okay, we have done that. Deployed. It was already deployed. Okay. Only the elevator screen buffers. Interesting. Okay, beeping. Retract Z probe and press OK. So let's retract. Record Z value displayed in machine status table. 125. Okay. Set G31Z value in sys file to recorded value. Okay. Aha, they're in my history, so that's good. Later, John. Have some food for me. Hello, Ricky Tanner, if I didn't say hello to you, by the way. G-code files. Where's my console? So zprobe.g, zprobe.g, G31. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Machine Z-probe. Gotcha. Okay. And there's the, whoever put in the IR sensor, there, that's the command that we're talking about. We're currently using the limit switch, so now we know that. We're learning as we go. Z-probe limit switch trigger value offset. We had a 125. We're going to save that. And now we run another macro called in-stop height. I do want to run that. Now homing and heating up. Wait for further instruction. So our Z probe is up. Let's see what it does. Hello, Tom, the printing llama. Colin is here. You are correct, my friend. It's a fancy pants printer with no screen. But it has Duet, so hey, what are you gonna do? Duet, I like Duet okay. I really do. No, not all of them are this fussy, but there's a, I mean, you have this web interface and it's nice and I get all that, but there's a bit of a learning curve when you're coming from traditional rip-rap style stuff. You know, where you have the Marlin and you know a handful of commands. There's a few things about Duet that you have to get used to, and I don't use Duet all the time. I have a couple. I don't print with them regularly. So I wouldn't say difficult, but there is a learning curve. Okay, it wants me to do this again. Six, 2, 5. Okay. Okay. It's actually giving me tutorials. That's interesting. Okay. Now this is the mesh bed level. Yeah, the Duet 3, you have to use Raspberry Pi? That's not cool. I wouldn't say, you know, Ramps 1.4 is probably, I wouldn't say Ramps was better than that board, but it definitely has more memory and you can do more features with it. So I would stay away from that Creality board if I were you. Because it's a 128. So now it's triggering the Z in stop over and over. Yeah, it homes at the bottom. Now we're coming back up. No, it's not broken yet. Deploy the Z probe. Okay. Sorry you guys are getting this beeping too, but bed mesh starting. Okay. Wow, that was probably painful for you guys. Take my $2. Retract the Z probe. If you're not going to rerun this macro, press OK.
Take my $2.
Thank you, Jake from State Farm, for the $2. I will take your $2. Okay. So it says that everything's good. That's what it says. Let's see if we can get it to extrude some filaments. We need some filaments. I have some gray filament here. So which one is 0 and which one is 1? Is this another one of those times where I'm supposed to read the directions? Go for broke trout. I don't think I can tolerate dual color today. Now that the motor power is on, you can hear something trying to turn, but I'm not sure which side it is. So 0 appears to be the left one. Yes. Pretty good odds. So here's the struggle. I could feed it through this tube and all that. That also sounds painful. There are just two. If you're following along with the manual, there are just two slots in the top of this head that are blind. There's really no inclination of how that filament feeds down to that gear. They're just kind of angled in like this. So you're kind of guessing whether that filament has been gripped or not. They're just one. It's just one nozzle with two paths in it. I noticed in the book that they show, like in the manual, they show two. Now we got it. Okay, so it's gripping filament. They set their standby temperatures to 150. That's interesting. I've done quite a bit of work on this with altering the front end and everything for their printer. They've done a pretty good job with the macros and things. It's kind of nifty. They list T0 as both? No? Okay, now we're active. And it's heating. It's not on standby anymore. You were helping write the macros? You have to load both or it will leak through the empty one. Well, that's a good point. That is a good point. Interesting. The beeps are direct. That is a good point. So maybe we should just stick some filament in it just for fun. Now it's not giving me an option of selecting which tool head you would like. You like my stripy filament? Whose idea was it to live stream today anyway? All right, so it is extruding plastic now. We're waiting for it to heat. You don't know whose idea it was, but well, thank you. I'm happy to have you all here. So we had some black filament in there. I'm guessing that's probably ABS. Okay, so I know you can't see this, but it does extrude. So we're that far. We're almost there. And we have loaded both, just in case, apocalypse happens or something. I have no G-code files. Print files here. I guess I could attempt to slice something for this. I could. Do we have anything that's even remotely close to this machine? A billion profiles. Not one like this. What do you say? This is like 400, 400? Yep. I'm not going to do lift. Slice now. Export G-code. M3D. Benchy. Yes, I must break it before I send it back. That's the order of how things go. I'm hungry. Anybody else hungry? I think I have a sandwich up there that my lovely wife made for me for today. So I think we might have to have a sandwich at some point. Upload G-code file. We're uploading. Now, I'm going to just take a guess the first time out. I'm going to start the print, see what it does, and then we'll stop it and we'll start one for reals. $415. Yes, very. I load rainbow film when it comes out one color. That's what I do. All right. You guys are too much. All right. Generated by Prusa Slicer. Do you want to print this G-code? I do want to print that G-code. And it didn't beep. Thank you. It is now selected for printing. It is heating. It is moving. Let's see what it does. Magic breakfast? Nice. You modded one of these? So now it's homing all the way to the bottom. Lots of Promega videos on your channel. You can go ahead and show that if you like. I don't care. Make some fresh coffee. That sounds like a great idea. I've never actually seen one of these before until Scott reached out to me and said, hey, you want this thing? And I said, okay. Whoa! That wasn't good. Is it extruding anything? No. Oh, maybe it's trying to. So it is trying to use the right tool. Or the left tool, I guess. The leveling definitely isn't where it needs to be. So let's see it do that again. Hello, Lenny. Broke it. The IR sensor is not enabled. I checked the G code. It is not enabled in there. Hello, Ollie. Yep. Awesome. Filament is wiggling. You thought you were hearing bats in your house? Bats in the house aren't good. Machine start G-code in your slicer profile for start. I broke the filament. Right side is significantly lower than the left. It looks square with the frame. I turned off desktop audio for your ears, by the way. Well, that is way different than it was before. Something isn't right here. In fact, let's restart the firmware. No smoke yet. YouTubes. Okay. We have rebooted. I could use a grilled cheese right about now. That'd be sweet. There are 170 some odd people watching me mess with this printer. It's kind of mind-blowing, actually. It's just another day in the basement. Yes, it is a glass bed. Train wrecks are fun. Well, I wouldn't say it was a train wreck yet, but I guess if that's how you see things, that's okay. I am not calling you odd. You're my type of people. See if a grilled cheese appears. I don't think that's gonna happen. The measurements, so the reason why I'm running through all this again is the measurements are inconsistent in between these macro runs. I get what they're trying to do, just trying to do it the way that they suggest. We might just, after I get done with all this, we might have to just wing it. You know how we do things. Yes, that is the side that you're looking at. I'm not even sure what the squeaking is. It's writing on plastic parts, so I'm guessing that's the plastic squeaking. Awesome, the firmware crashed. Push Stack Overflow. Nice. How many cup holders? I wish I had one. Beeping again. Okay. Oh, I don't want to read all this again. Just goes through the same stuff over and over. I don't think those values are right because they change wildly. What firmware version? 2.02 RC5. The firmware keeps cycling. So it's working great then. You can keep your food hot. good idea. This thing's kind of ridiculous. I think there was a better way to set this up, honestly. There's a timing bug. Great. Okay, so I've run through this whole sequence, right? Let's see what we got. So they want you to disable bed leveling. G92, Z364. I don't know that the macros are doing us any favors here. Well, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. So in Duet, how you display mesh. Configure Z-probe, configure the bed mesh. It shows no mesh. So all of it is 0. So the mesh macro isn't actually doing anything. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. Yes, it is crashing. And no matter what you do, it says Z-probe was not triggered during probing move. I think we have something broken. All right. So we might have bed leveling colliding with our compensation. That could be a possibility. So now we're in troubleshooting mode. But no matter what you do, Z probe not triggered during print move. Probing move. Now, I struggle just like the rest of you. That's meshed up. Exactly, Robbie Mac. Hopefully you're feeling better, by the way, Robbie Mac. I heard you weren't feeling well, and I heard Ryan might start to not feel well. Okay, so we have turned that off. Let's move the printer up now that we have homed. I do like it how fast the bed moves. Okay. Where are we at? So we are at 10. And we're pretty close to the nozzle. I don't think that's 10, so our offset is definitely off. It could be. Okay, so we're at 465. So let's update our Z in-stop file. Okay, what is our value again? So we are positive 465 Z in-stop. We are currently at 3, so we're at default. Again, I know this is thrilling watching me figure this out. That really doesn't seem right either. But we'll try it. let's see, 3. I'm not sure why it would be that off, though, honestly. Maximum Z. So they want you to adjust, if it's larger than that, you have to adjust maximums, which makes sense. But it seems way far off. I mean, like, it shouldn't be that far. Let's run that command manually. See what that does for us. Okay. Question your excitement. Okay. I won't do it. I ran the M92, so it should have saved my value. It's thinking about stuff right now. It's contemplating life. As am I. See you later, Robbie Mac. I know you're probably already gone, but... so to clone a card like that, I just use Disk Imager and save a copy of it. Just save it as an image file and then load a new one. Install a VL Touch. Yeah. The bed heater is struggling. Come on, printer, you can do this. This might be a wash. I hate to have this thing kill our Sunday, but jeez. It's 12:30 already. You have 4 of these? How about a drop test? Just push it on over. That'll end it. This is an S424, so 16.6 amp. Yes, Freddie, it is the 2-in-1 hot end on this one. Which would be really cool if it worked, but I'm not sure how that's going to work. All right. I think I can print with that. Chris pulls out another one. But are we doing any extruding? Yes, we are. Well, maybe we're not. Slap on some sides and make an aquarium. Yes. I could totally do that. Okay. I think we can work with this. So let's stop this one. Let's change a couple of things real quick. G-code. Nope. G-code console. I actually would prefer to call that a terminal, but I'm not going to be critical. Uploading a file. Let's clean that up a bit. Glue stick or tape? Glue stick or tape? Glue stick or tape? I'm kind of a glue stick guy. Tom Llama's going, tape! Tape! You gotta use tape! Okay. Where's your Aquanet? Yeah, I should have just done that. I love spraying hairspray on everything. That's actually the main, like the large beds. That's what I do. When I'm talking large, like, 700-ish, or I guess probably anything over about 400. The hairspray is just so much easier than doing anything else. We have a little bit of filament from both sides right now, so we're definitely going to have some wonky color going on here. For the win. Loves Aquanet, don't they all? Glue stick is just too easy. Aquanet will get rid of that squeak. I'll bet it will. Okay, what we got here? It's a little smushed, but it's printing. We baby stepped a touch there. It's kind of hard to see. It's printing. Let's let it go for a second and see what happens. We'll deal with the filament on the fly. Maybe. It's not looking great. Really doesn't look like it's advancing Z any. Yeah, we'll get the camera on it, I promise. As soon as we figure out what's going on. It's going, but all right. gonna have to move it over here some. My my camera has been somewhat wonky lately. There are some things, yes, in Slicer that you would have to set for duet for, but the most of it is pretty generic. I don't know that there's an actual, like, I mean, it's riprap, right? So you could set it for that if you'd like. It's gonna be really hard to get you, well, great. I'm gonna have to make a 3D printing repair on my camera stand. That camera very well could fall off of there. So we are making progress. We're technically multicolored because it's using this candy stripe filament that I put in there. Well, it is pretty nice to look at. There will be some dialing in to be done on this machine. I'll have to figure out exactly what they were getting at with some of those processes. But in a pinch, we got it done. This is going to be a pretty cool looking benchy though. I think I should just keep feeding it multicolored strands because I got a bunch of them from testing with the palette. So I got a bunch of these just multicolored pieces. I think we should just feed them one by one in there and see what the benchy looks like when we're done. What do you think? Would you like, let's just move, let's do this. Let's get really situated here. Let's get comfy. Everybody, grab yourself a drink. Let's get settled. We're going to be here for a little while longer. And then we're going to go into Fun in the Country basement. And we'll be here even longer than that. And then we can all go have dinner. So let's move this out of the way. Even though I do like my 1x2s, which are pretty sweet. Let's slide this up a bit. I won't make you seasick while we do that. Yeah, you could definitely do some really interesting camera mounts or something in here if you wanted. Maybe I can seal it up for high temp. I have been doing a lot of high temp. This camera, I might just totally wreck OBS when I do this, but the cable on this camera seems short. It needs I need like a 3-foot extension or something for that camera. Putting extensions on cameras usually isn't the best way to go, but you got to do what you got to do. Let's do that right quick. We're all family here. I need more cable on that camera. You can't see me, but you can hear me. This might crash my computer altogether, so if that happens, sorry. Okay. Okay, now we have more cable. That will help us get a good angle on this. Let's see if the camera will come back. It appears that it is back, so that's good. Try not to pull it out of that extension. Right there. Yes, it's got a part cooling fan, one on both. It's got one on each side. Oh, now we're doing like gray. It almost looks purple. I don't know that there are any advantages of this printer. You're right, it's pretty much just a regular printer. It is Core XY. It does have 32-bit. It is very quiet. But yeah, I mean, it's nothing ground-shattering. Scott was just nice enough to send it over, so I thought we would check it out. That's all. Okay. So this looks better. I'm sure it can print on its side, but it's not going to today. All right. So let's see how good of a shot I can get you here without breaking everything. Okay, so I went to a lot of trouble for this camera shot now. Here, you want to see what it looks like up close for a second? Ooh, look. Let's see what see if we can straighten up the... That's more accurate. So how's that? Scott Mulvaney, I believe is his last name. I probably just butchered that. I believe that he was in here earlier. That's who sent it. He backed this as a Kickstarter, and I guess he switched to Delta. He just prefers Delta, and didn't know what to do with this thing, so he sent it to me. The bed moving down is moving the camera a bit, but after the next couple of layers, it will straighten itself out. So anyway, how you doing? My name's Chris. Welcome to my channel. I feel like we just jumped straight into chaos and bedlam here all at once this morning. But everything's, somebody said it before, but everything's always better after the Benchy starts to print. How true, how true. It is 0.2 layer height. The bed gets hot, it needs cooled. It is not a regular hot end. It is some concoction that they have cobbled together that has dual color. It's got dual channels inside it. Okay, so Robot Hut is here. Hello. I believe your first name is John. If not, I am sorry. So it wasn't really. It really wasn't an issue. The issue was me trying to follow their macros that they have put on the printer. So they have tried to make this easier by putting some macros that run commands to try to set your Z offset. And so I tried to follow those. The firmware also crashes, which somebody said that that I have an old version and I need to update that. So that probably gets fixed in an update. But it does occasionally throw up and reboot. So that's a problem. But that was the main issue, is I was trying to follow their guide. So what I ultimately did to get it going was just to do what I know, what I think is right, just based on experience. So I went through. Are we still extruding okay? So I went through. I brought it up to a certain level, and then I slowly brought it up until the nozzle touched, and then I recorded that as my Z offset, and away we went. The Z offset is not perfect. It's actually just a little bit too close, but that's the setting that we're using right now, and that's why it's printing. So I just kind of winged it as usual. But so it really wasn't an issue per se. But some of the macros were a bit confusing why it was recording some of those values. I'm not exactly sure what it's trying to do right now. But it doesn't look like it's kicking out enough filament. I don't know. Aluminum's kind of expensive. Used to fish for rainbow trout. Well, and that's what I was kind of figuring. So it's trying to feed both filaments at once. But the offset being just a touch off probably doesn't help anything either. I am really excited about multicolor benchy though. Just feeding all of these loose parts in. Now it's skipping. How old is this printer anyway? When was that Kickstarter? $4 years? Wow. Yeah, it's definitely not looking so good. I think we have officially bound. Yes, the extruder is officially seized up. Fantastic. So we got part of a benchy that is really stuck on there. I hope that flew into the camera's perspective because that would have been really cool. Underpowered. Yeah, the motors are really tiny. Let's take a look at this G code real quick. So we're using riprap. I'm looking for where it selects tool head. And it doesn't appear to do that. Let's see. A build time for 2.0? I don't know. Adam Atom would take 3 or 4 minutes, I think. I really don't remember now. It seems like VS Code will do it much, much faster. I've seen VS Code do it in 30 seconds. G28. It doesn't ever select the tool head. So it thinks extruder 1 is default, basically. Making another extruder, wow. Let's... Tool selection. I really don't want to know about the macro. I want the commands. So let's see what it does in the console. See you later, Dave. We'll see you on FKB. Hello, Greg. How are you? Default is 50-50 mixed. That's what I wanted to know. It is completely hung up. I don't think that's going to print like that. I mean, it's trying to work through it, but... Well, that's a shame. This seems to be a design flaw. Jerry at 3D Printing and Painting is here. Hello. Yep. Well, that is a shame. Well, I guess we got it out of the box and we gave it a try. Hmm. Got parts, that's for sure. We could set another printer inside it and use it as an enclosure. You have 4 of them, yeah. Yeah. Don't you know? That is a shame. It really is. Okay. 'Tis a shame. Got my wonky spool down there. I dropped one of these spools and it broke, and it's still on a spool holder, so you have to, so half of it's missing, so you have to like kick it over by hand occasionally to get it to keep spinning. But there's only like a couple of meters of filament on the end of the spool. I just can't let it go. I want to use the whole thing. Prusa can sell them as enclosures. They'd be really nice enclosures, I have to say. Filament dry box. The extruder's motors are tiny, and they're not actually powerful enough to keep it extruding. That is the issue. Chris a dry. The dry Riley. I think you could probably switch this over to like a single drive, get a hot end and another extruder, and it'd probably be that would probably be the best fix, the easiest fix that I could think of right off the top of my head. You could, I mean, yeah, of course, we could work it into something. It's just a shame that it doesn't work as designed. I feel sorry for the people that paid for it. Phone's making noises. This side definitely seems weaker than the other one. Do you know of a Marlin-2 defect that defines Z homing offset that takes place? I do not know of that defect. I definitely want to get a rail core. It's just, when am I going to have the time? I don't know. This one acts like it's not spinning at all. Now I'm just messing with it. It's a bit challenged, I will say. Okay. Spider webs everywhere. Filament spider webs. Let's see. G-code files. Is it seriously already after 1 o'clock my time? It certainly is. Walter was in here. What's Walter talking about? Hello, Magnus. I was printing and then it stopped printing. It's going to crash into my camera. So Stepper VREF, yes, I did take a look at that. That's set internally. I turned the VREF up on this one already. It is a Maestro. They're on fire sale now. Pretty squeaky. It is kind of squeaky. I'm trying to figure out what it's doing. So what did it actually do here? Okay. So let's adjust. So if it travels let's try this setting. My first run was really far, or really too close to the bed, so it might have completely wiped out my glue stick as well. Yes. There's a fly in here. It's driving me crazy. A wavy type of flat? That's the first time I've heard that one. I actually don't need this one to be so long. It really just doesn't feel like extruding. Hmm. once per lifetime. It's only good for one go. It's a disposable. I set it in G-code. I set it to T0, hoping that it would only do one at a time, but it seems to still be doing both at the same time. I can hide behind it. It couldn't hurt any. I wonder if there's any more coffee. All right, Walter. You got to look pretty for the live stream. Working in the yard. That's no fun. M567. Sets mix for tool 2. Mixing ratios. That really doesn't even make any sense. Someday, we'll work on printers that work. Carl is here. Hello, Carl. It's going fine. Now we're skipping yet again. All right. I've got the current on these steppers turned up, and they're too hot to touch. Tristan is here. Hello, Tristan. Well, that is a shame. Hello, Paul Cumber. Well, sorry for all the people that just got here, but this did not go as well as I hoped. But at least we checked it out. I think I'm going to take a break before Fun in the Country Basement starts. For those of you that don't know what Fun in the Country Basement is, it is our weekly Sunday hangouts where Glenn from Fun King 3D, Walter from Country 3D, and I get together and talk for about 2 hours about 3D printing. We alternate our channels week to week, and if you need to know where that is at on Sundays, you can go to funcountrybasement.com. That is country with a K. But that will be here in about an hour and a half. So please join us over there if you want to continue to hang out. Yes, Carl gets here and then I leave. No worries, Scott. It's kind of printing. It's doing its thing. Thank you, Chris Scolata, for the link. So I think that's where we're going to leave it for now. I want to go have some lunch. And we'll be back on Walter's channel today. Chris has provided the link. And I'm just going to let this print and see how far it goes. We'll see if we actually finish. Thank you to, well, thank you, Michael. Thank you to everyone that showed up today. I know this wasn't the most awesome 3D printer that we could check out on a Sunday, but, you know, we got to check them all out, no matter how good or bad, just to see what they do. So we'll see what happens. All right. Isn't that how it always is? All right. Again, thanks, everybody. Hopefully we'll see you this afternoon. If not, I will be on another live stream shortly. Hopefully I see you at IRF. If you're coming to IRF in Bel Air, Maryland, please come to the Rip Rap Festival. I will be there. I don't think we'll do another live stream before then. I know there will be a lot of live streams during IRF, so definitely check those out. See you later. I'll be back shortly.